The bright studio lights of the television set shone down like artificial stars, creating a warm and energetic glow over the polished floor. It was a space filled with anticipation, laughter, and the sweet, sometimes unpredictable, essence of young love. This was the stage where secrets were playfully revealed and where couples discovered just how well they truly knew the person they had promised to share their lives with. One of these brides checks out guys at the gym when her husband is not looking. Which one is it? Her husband is going to find out, and so are you, because it is time to play the Newlywed game. A man with a welcoming smile and a sharp suit stepped into the center of the stage, holding a microphone with practiced ease. His eyes sparkled with genuine enthusiasm as he looked directly into the camera lens, connecting with thousands of families sitting in their living rooms. Hi, I am Gary Kroger, and welcome to the Newlywed Game. You are going to meet 3 couples, and we will discover just how well they know each other. It is very simple. I ask each couple questions about one another. Correct answers earn points. The couple with the most points at the end will win an incredible second honeymoon. Let us meet our first couple. Gary turned his attention to the first pair of seats, where a young woman and a young man sat holding hands, their knuckles slightly white from a mix of excitement and nervousness. The woman wore a bright dress that complemented her cheerful expression, while the man adjusted his collar, offering a supportive smile to his partner. She is a 32-year-old receptionist. He is a 33-year-old computer analyst. They have been married 13 months. Say hi to Roxanne and Steve Stover. Welcome. Good luck. Roxanne waved enthusiastically at the studio audience, her eyes crinkling with joy, while Steve gave a polite nod, already focusing on the game ahead. They looked like a classic example of steady, dedicated love, the kind built on daily routines and shared morning coffees. Gary then gestured to the second couple, who brought a completely different energy to the stage. The husband was a towering presence, his broad shoulders filling the frame, yet his eyes held a gentle, almost shy quality when he looked at his wife. Next, she is a 31-year-old administrative assistant. He is a 28-year-old truck driver. They have been married 11 months. Say hi to Nastasia and Mark Threats. Hi, welcome to the show. You are a big guy. Mark chuckled, a deep sound that resonated in his chest, and gave a little wave. Nastasia leaned into him, smiling proudly as if to say that her big guy was the gentlest soul in the world. Finally, Gary arrived at the third couple. They were the youngest of the group, still wrapped in the magical, dizzying fog of very recent nuptials. They could hardly keep their eyes off each other, giggling at private jokes even before the game officially started. Finally, she is a 25-year-old law clerk. He is a 28-year-old physical therapy aide. They have been married only 1 month. Say hello to Carrie and Chris Titano. Welcome. Good luck, Chris. Let us have a big round of applause for all 3 of today's newlywed couples. You ready? Ready to go? The audience erupted in applause, the sound filling the studio and lifting the spirits of the nervous contestants. The game was about to begin, a light-hearted exploration of domestic bliss and the funny little habits that make up a marriage. All right, Carrie, I am going to start with you, Gary said, stepping closer to the young law clerk. And what I am going to do is ask you to look at this screen right here where you are about to see Chris. A monitor flickered to life, showing a pre-recorded clip of Chris. His face appeared on the screen, looking thoughtful as he pondered a question. The recorded voice of Chris began to speak. The strangest thing that my wife does in the morning is... The screen suddenly went blank, paused at the perfect moment to create suspense. Carrie bit her lip, thinking quickly. We stopped the tape there because I want you to finish Christopher's sentence for 10 points, Gary explained. Carrie did not need long to think about it. A knowing smile spread across her face as she recalled their morning routine in their new apartment. Drink diet soda, Carrie answered confidently. Gary looked at her, his eyebrows raised in mild amusement. The strangest thing you do in the morning is drink diet soda. Drink a diet soda first thing in the morning, Carrie confirmed, nodding her head. That is the way, Gary said, chuckling softly. Why is that? I need the caffeine, and it is too hot now, Carrie replied simply, explaining the logic that made perfect sense to her. Gary nodded, turning back to the camera with a wink. She needs the caffeine, she does. Good answer. The audience cheered for the first successful match of the day. It was a small detail, the kind of quirky habit that only a spouse would know and accept without judgment. It was the first brick laid in the foundation of their game score, and it set a positive, fun-loving tone for the rest of the show. All right, Nastasia, Gary said, moving on to the second couple. It is your turn to look at Mark. Once again, the monitor came alive, showing the gentle giant, Mark. He looked directly at the camera in the recording, speaking with absolute certainty about his wife. My wife and I agree her best feature is her. The tape cut off abruptly. Gary looked at Nastasia, waiting for her interpretation of her husband's thoughts. Thighs, Nastasia said with a confident grin. The audience let out a collective, good-natured laugh. Gary looked at the card in his hand, then back to the couple. Thighs, Gary repeated. Beauty marks. Mark, why would you say that? Mark rubbed the back of his neck, a bit flustered but smiling. Because you always talk about you want to lose. You always talk about you want to lose weight. Nastasia laughed, shaking her head. I need to lose weight for my beauty marks. It is fun to watch a guy that is 6 feet 8 inches do that, is it not? Gary said to the audience, earning another round of laughter. The playfulness between them was evident. It was not about perfect answers, but about the shared language and affectionate teasing that kept their relationship fresh and alive. Even when they missed the exact word, the love was clearly visible. All right, Roxanne, here is Steve, Gary said, turning to the first couple to complete the first round of questions. The screen showed Steve, looking calm and analytical, true to his profession. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate my sexual technique well. The screen paused on Steve's expectant face. Roxanne laughed, a bit of a blush coloring her cheeks as she considered how to answer such a public question about a private topic. 9, Roxanne said firmly, giving her husband a generous rating. He would rate it a 9. Gary looked at the screen as the answer was revealed. 7. Thanks anyway. The audience groaned playfully, and Roxanne looked at Steve with mock indignation. Gary turned to the computer analyst. Steve, why just a 7? I do not want to brag, Steve explained, his voice calm and reasonable. I mean, she is the better judge of how I am, so I will accept 9. Yeah, she said 9, so be happy, Gary agreed. How about 9, everybody? The audience applauded Steve's modesty and Roxanne's high praise. It was a sweet moment that showed their mutual respect and affection, proving that sometimes, a partner sees us in a much better light than we see ourselves. We are going to give you another chance to make some points by turning the tables, Gary announced, signaling the next phase of the game.